Yuki is our main character. When a man on the train asks her for directions, it becomes clear that she has trouble hearing. Luckily, a young man named Itsuomi steps in to help the man, saving Yuki from stress. Yuki also remembers Itsuomi from her friend Rin's class. When Itsuomi reaches his stop, he waves goodbye to Yuki and tells her that he'll see her again. After this, Yuki starts asking her friend Rin about Itsuomi because she likes him. Rin's crush works at the same restaurant as Itsuomi. They decide to try to meet their crushes, so Rin invites Yuki to come along with her. Yuki and Rin go to the restaurant that night. Rin gets Kiwia's phone number easily, but Yuki struggles to get Itsuomi's number. Rin and Yuki quickly decide to leave. As Yuki is about to leave, Itsuomi unexpectedly offers to walk her home. While walking, Yuki asks him for his phone number, and he gives it to her happily. Yuki then tells him she can walk the rest of the way home alone. Yuki thanks him for walking her home. After they part ways, Yuki wonders if the world is too big for Itsuomi. He agrees the world is large, but then asks to be a part of her world. This makes Yuki very happy. Later, we find out that Kiwia has feelings for Rin too. Yuki can't stop thinking about Itsuomi. She isn't sure if she's in love with him or just has a crush. She talks to Rin about it, and Rin tells her he can be whatever she wants him to be. Then Itsuomi tells Yuki he's going to Laos. He asks if she wants anything from his trip, and she happily says yes. While he's away, Itsuomi sends Yuki cute photos of himself, which makes her very happy. The day after Itsuomi returns from his trip, Yuki sees him across the street. They are both happy to see each other. Meanwhile, Yuki's childhood friend, Oushi, who learned sign language for her, is very protective of her. This seems to bother Itsuomi, but he doesn't say anything. In the final moments of the episode, Yuki tells Rin she's in love with Itsuomi. We also find out that Itsuomi has learned some basic sign language to talk to Yuki. Yuki starts thinking more about Itsuomi and his eagerness to learn sign language. She decides to make him a book of signs he can use. Her mother sees her signing and thinks it's just a strange dance move. Later, Yuki and Rin go to Rock and Robin to meet their crushes. Itsuomi shows interest in learning about Yuki's hearing impairment and starts asking her questions about it. Kiwia tells him to back off from asking personal questions, though Yuki likes Itsuomi's curiosity. Yuki then gives Itsuomi the sign language book she made. He thanks her but says he prefers to learn sign language from her in person. Emma and Shin, Itsuomi's friends, arrive at the bar later. Yuki feels jealous when Emma tries to touch Itsuomi. When they leave, Yuki asks Itsuomi if he's dating Emma. Kiwia tells her they are just friends and not romantic, but doesn't explain why. Yuki doesn't hear from Itsuomi for 4 days. When she gets nervous, she messages him. He suggests they meet at the laundromat. Yuki teaches Itsuomi some sign language and they enjoy spending time together. As they leave, Yuki asks Itsuomi if he's dating Emma. He explains they are just friends. Then he asks if she's dating Oushi, and she tells him they're just childhood friends. They agree to meet again before going their separate ways. Emma is waiting for Itsuomi when he gets home. He doesn't want her to go out in the snow alone, so he gives her his house keys and leaves. When Emma tries to get too close to Itsuomi, he tells her to keep her distance. After Itsuomi leaves, Emma gets drunk and finds the sign language book in his house. Emma sees the sign language book at Itsuomi's apartment. She wonders why he wants to learn sign language since he doesn't need it in his daily life. The next day, Rin tells Yuki she and Kiwia are going to get supplies. Rin seems nervous about going with Kiwia alone, so Yuki asks if she and Itsuomi can join them. Yuki then asks Itsuomi if he wants to come along, and he's happy to go. Yuki gets on the train to meet Itsuomi at the spot they agreed on. On the train, she meets Oushi, who looks upset when he sees Itsuomi at the station. Itsuomi puts his arm around Yuki's shoulder, making her blush and Oushi angry. Itsuomi and Yuki enjoy shopping with Rin and Kiwia at the store. Itsuomi suggests Rin and Kiwia take a drive together for some alone time after shopping. Yuki then asks Itsuomi if he wants to have dinner with her. Itsuomi asks if they can have dinner at his apartment. Itsuomi takes Yuki to his home for a meal. Yuki feels very nervous, and her heart beats fast when she's around Itsuomi. Meanwhile, Itsuomi tells her that her calmness makes him feel sleepy. As time goes by, Yuki is in Itsuomi's arms. He's completely relaxed, but Yuki feels both excited and a bit uneasy. Soon after, he gives her gifts he bought from his trip. He makes her laugh for the first time and starts tickling her. We quickly learn that Yuki only speaks with her family. We understand that she used to be teased because of her voice, so she stops speaking and uses nonverbal ways like signs, gestures, and writing to express herself. She doesn't tell Itsuomi about this. After that, they exchange questions using sign language and write down their answers. Itsuomi wants to know what kinds of things she's comfortable with him doing to her. Just as she's about to tell him, Emma arrives. Yuki tells Itsuomi she's leaving and gathers her things. Then Itsuomi offers to take her home, and tells her to wait outside his building. As Yuki goes down the elevator, Emma is holding onto Itsuomi, but Yuki doesn't see when Itsuomi pushes Emma away. She goes home alone, misunderstanding the situation, and sends Itsuomi a message saying she's leaving. The next day, Yuki tells Rin everything that happened with Itsuomi. Rin then brings Yuki and Itsuomi together and leaves them alone. Yuki asks Itsuomi why he wants to learn sign language. Her heart feels happy when he says he wants to learn it so they can talk to each other. He then asks her to finish what she started saying the day before. Her answer, everything, makes him gently kiss her hands. Yuki tells Itsuomi everything and Itsuomi kisses her hand. Yuki blushes and looks away, but Itsuomi is on the phone and doesn't see when she tells him she loves him. He tells her he needs to hurry to the restaurant and take care of it. He also plans to study more sign language during his month-long trip abroad and says he will come back with more time for her. Then Yuki goes to Rin's house. She tells her mom she'll be staying at Rin's place for the night. While Yuki is at Rin's home, her mom sees oushi and tells him where Yuki is staying. Oushi gets Yuki's contact details from her mom and contacts Yuki to ask if she is dating Itsuomi and just using Rin's name. Yuki and Rin go to the restaurant. Itsuomi then asks Rin if he can spend time with Yuki. He takes Yuki out and tells her how he feels about her. She agrees to be in a relationship with him. Itsuomi shares the good news with Rin and Kyuya when they go back inside. Soon after, Itsuomi asks Rin if he can walk Yuki home while she stays at the eatery with Kyuya. Itsuomi walks Yuki to Rin's house and they enjoy their time together on the way. As Yuki is about to enter Rin's house, Itsuomi hugs her from behind. Itsuomi goes on an international trip to visit several countries. He stays in touch with Yuki during his journey, sending her updates about the places he visits along with videos and pictures. Meanwhile, Yuki wants to see the world with Itsuomi. She thinks getting a job will help her achieve this goal. She applies to many different places but doesn't find any good results. Oushi messages Yuki to tell her that his sister Mayo is coming to visit. Yuki decides to meet Mio. Since Mayo has forgotten how to use sign language, Oushi uses big gestures to communicate with her. Mayo asks Yuki if she's in love, and Yuki says yes. While Yuki is on the train, Itsuomi texts her to say he's back. Then he asks to meet her. They meet in the middle and Itsuomi surprises Yuki with a kiss. Afterward, they have lunch together and enjoy their time. Itsuomi tells Yuki that he wants her to meet his friend Shin. He takes Yuki to Shin's house and introduces her as his girlfriend. Itsuomi takes Yuki to meet his close friend Shin and introduces her as his girlfriend. Before going inside, Itsuomi asks Yuki if she's comfortable visiting his home. He then gives her a reassuring squeeze on the hand to let her know everything will be okay. Itsuomi and Shin talk about Yuki and Itsuomi explains she hasn't been able to hear since birth. Shin then brings up Emma and how she might react to the news that Itsuomi is dating Yuki as Emma has liked Itsuomi for a long time. Shin also has feelings for Emma and has never seen Itsuomi so protective and loving toward a girl. He tells Itsuomi he's happy for him and offers to tell Emma the news himself, saying she will take it better coming from him. Soon after, Itsuomi and Yuki leave Shin's home. Itsuomi tells Yuki he knows she didn't see his sign before he kissed her. He then shows her the sign he will use before kissing her and the sign she can use to show she's okay with it. Meanwhile, Shin is seen fixing Emma's hair after inviting her over. He tries to tell her that Itsuomi is dating Yuki, but he struggles when Emma says she loves Itsuomi. Next, Yuki goes to college. She spends time with Rin there. Itsuomi arrives soon after and joins them. Rin is amazed by how well Itsuomi can communicate using sign language, and she asks Yuki if she should learn it too. Itsuomi suggests they all go to a sign language boot camp together. Yuki and Rin go shopping to get ready for the boot camp. First, they pick cute outfits, but then they buy warm clothes when Itsuomi texts them saying they'll be camping in the mountains. The next day, Itsuomi drives Yuki, Rin, and Kyuya to the boot camp, so they all travel together. During the trip, they play a game and Itsuomi shares that he wants to travel with his girlfriend, Yuki. This makes Yuki more determined to find a job so she can afford to travel. Once they arrive at the campsite, Yuki teaches Itsuomi and Rin some sign language. Meanwhile, Kyuya is in the cooking area preparing meals for everyone. After that, Rin and Kyuya decide to go on a hike together to give Yuki and Itsuomi some privacy. Yuki and Itsuomi enjoy spending quality time together. She turns him down and tells him she loves someone else. This leads to Rin and Kyuya confessing their feelings for each other. As all of this is happening, Rin trips on a rock and gets hurt. The group leaves the campsite and Kyuya takes Rin to the hospital. Later, Aoshi's sister sees Yuki and Itsuomi enjoying the outdoors. Then Yuki goes to Itsuomi's home and texts her mom to say she'll stay at Rin's house. Meanwhile, Aoshi's sister tells Aoshi she saw Yuki with her boyfriend. Aoshi makes a video call to Yuki and Itsuomi sees the call. In a past timeline when Oushi and Yuki were kids, Yuki admires the fireworks while Oushi admires Yuki. They exchange a brief glance and Yuki blushes. In the current timeline, Itsuomi hears Yuki's phone buzzing. Oushi is video calling Yuki. Itsuomi hands the phone to Yuki, who sees she missed a call. Yuki then gets another call, this time from someone telling her she got the job she applied for. Itsuomi congratulates her. After that, Yuki takes a shower, and then she and Itsuomi watch a movie together. Itsuomi notices Yuki is anxious while he holds her. Later, they sleep in separate beds. Yuki worries about it a little, but Itsuomi tells her she's important to him and he will wait until she's comfortable. The next day, Oushi arrives at school and confronts Itsuomi. Itsuomi tries to be friends with Oushi, but Oushi isn't interested. Oushi seems bitter towards Itsuomi because he has feelings for Yuki. Itsuomi invites him out at night. That evening, Oushi goes to the bar to meet Itsuomi. Itsuomi tries to get to know Oushi better, but Oushi treats him with passive aggression. Even so, after a few drinks, Oushi ends up crying about Yuki. Itsuomi treats him like a younger brother. Yuki and Rin talk during their break at school. Rin shows Yuki the photo of herself and Kiuya spending time together. Yuki asks if they are dating. Rin explains that Kiuya hasn't asked her to be his girlfriend yet. Itsuomi joins their conversation. He is happy to hear that Kiuya is focusing on his romantic life, which embarrasses Rin. She leaves to give Yuki and Itsuomi some private time. Yuki tells Itsuomi about her job interview, and he wishes her good luck. When Yuki goes to the cafe for her interview if she gets the job, she texts Itsuomi to share the good news. Her mom also asks her to pick up groceries. At the grocery store, Yuki runs into Oushi, who helps her communicate with the staff. After shopping, Oushi is extra nice to Yuki. She asks him why. He tells her he knows she's dating Itsuomi and asks her to let him know if Itsuomi ever makes her cry. As Yuki compliments Itsuomi, Oushi interrupts her and stops her from continuing. Yuki works for a few days without talking to Itsuomi. Meanwhile, Shin invites Emma to meet with him. He tells her that Itsuomi is dating someone else and asks her to choose him instead. Itsuomi texts Yuki during the weekend, telling her he's outside. They meet up and spend time together catching up. Itsuomi suggests they go on their first date and asks Yuki to choose the place. Itsuomi asks Yuki where she wants to go on a date with him. Yuki is surprised he asks her to pick, so Itsuomi asks Yuki to choose a place for their first date. Next, Yuki and Rin talk. Yuki asks Rin for advice, and Rin suggests going to a food festival. Yuki thinks Itsuomi won't like it because he's often away, but Rin says Itsuomi will enjoy seeing her happy. The scene then shows Itsuomi and Yuki on a train, reminding Yuki of their first meeting. She shares with Itsuomi how they met by chance and how they're now heading in the same direction. Yuki takes Itsuomi to a beautiful park with many flowering trees. Yuki talks about her love of taking photos of food and flowers. They enjoy their time together. Then Yuki asks Itsuomi about his travels. Itsuomi writes her a long message and tells her to read it when she gets home. After spending 4 hours together, Yuki and Itsuomi go home. We see Shin in his relationship with Emma. Shin told Emma he likes her, but she hasn't replied yet. Emma talks to her coworkers about Shin's feelings while working in a cafe. Shin's boss asks why Emma hasn't been there lately, but Shin doesn't have an answer. The boss hopes Emma will come back soon, and Shin agrees. Yuki reads Itsuomi's note after tidying up. Itsuomi talks about a childhood memory of when a boy understood him for the first time. This made him want to learn how to communicate better. He also shares his love of planes and traveling. He wants to see the world and teach kids about different cultures and traditions. After that, Itsuomi texts Yuki that he wants to meet with her even for a short time. He wants to learn more about her and how he can help her. He also tells her how much he loves her. In the final credits of the show, Kiuya proposes to Rin and they become a couple. Emma also likes Shin and they become a couple. Yuki saves money while working and finally gets her passport. She and Itsuomi make plans to travel overseas for the first time. Oushi tries to open up more. In the library, he meets a girl who is interested in him. It's not clear whether he ends up dating her.